In the previous session, we have seen introduction to software testing. From today onwards, what we will do, we will start this Python programming language. We'll learn this Python programming language in a great detail, right? As a part of this is what the first session, introduction to Python programming. So before going to write the code, before going to see some operations, right? Let us see some important points with respect to this Python programming language, which you might already be knowing, but let me revise you those things, right? Python is a high level general purpose programming language. High level general purpose programming language. Programming language. What is the meaning of high level? General purpose. When we talk about high level, it is easy for humans to read and write. If any programming language is easy for humans to read and write, that particular programming language is a high level programming language. So Python stands at the top as a part of this high level programming languages hierarchy. Python is a high level. That means a layman also can easily understand some simple English statements. So when you write this Python programming language, it will be like a simple English statements. That means who can understand, a human can understand. Upon understanding, he can write some code also. General purpose. What is the meaning of general purpose? Nowadays, lot of technology options are available, right? When we talk about applications, it can be web applications, desktop applications, mobile applications. When you talk about games, website, big data tools, etc., there are n number of software technologies available for each and every purpose. If a programming language is used not only for single purpose, for every purpose, if a programming language is used, it is called as a general purpose programming language. General purpose programming language. Python is a high level and general purpose programming language. Also, it is a case sensitive language. Case sensitive language. That means who are working in SQL database related stuff, they might be knowing when we talk about this case sensitive and case insensitive. So when we talk about this case sensitive, right? So let me define some variable A. Inside this variable, I am storing some data or value. This is small a in lowercase. Let me define another variable, capital A equal to 20. So when I try to access these two variables, when I try to access lowercase a, it will not print 20. When I try to access capital case A, it will not print 10. That means for capital A, it will only print, it will always print 20. For small a, it will always print 10. That means there is a case difference here. So Python is a case sensitive language, but coming to SQL, it is a case insensitive language. Whether you write in capital case or you write in lower case, it will always be treated as a valid code. But Python is a case sensitive programming language. So you need to be very careful whenever we are trying to define the case of any variable or any identifier. Also, Python is a open source language, right? Open source. That means you can see its source code by which it has been implemented. Python is an open source, also platform independent, right? Platform independent. That means whatever the program which you are writing in Windows operating system right now, it will work without any issue on Mac operating system, Mac OS, or in Linux or Unix operating system. So Python is a open source and platform independent programming language. When compared to other programming languages, it is simpler. Python is simpler than other programming languages. So if you see here, This is what some simple example which I have just taken to show you. This is what a C compiler. This is what C++. This is Java, and this is a Python compiler. What I need to do, I need to print some simple message inside console. So to print some simple message inside console with C programming language, what you need to do, you need to define hash include stdio.h int main. Like this, you need to specify some 3 to 4 lines of code. The same in the case of C++ as well, right? Even in Java, if you want to do anything, first thing you need to create a class. Without a class, you can't even put a dot in Java, right? But coming to Python programming language, to achieve the same output, instead of writing multiple lines of code, you are just only specifying one simple statement, which is a print. So what it will do upon executing this, it will just print the same output as like in the previous cases. You can see I'm just clicking on run, so it is just printing hello world. So to achieve this, I'm writing multiple statements here. Similarly, C++, you can see it is also printing the same result. Java will also print the same result, right? So you can see it here. And coming to this Python, when I click on run this, you can see hello world is printed. The same result you are achieving with only one simple statement. So by this I can understand, simple example I can understand, Python is simpler than other programming languages. This is what a brief introduction to Python programming language. Once you know this introduction, you need to know the history. Who implemented this? Where implemented this? Python was first implemented in 1989. In the year 1989 by Guido van Rossum, right? Guido van Rossum. He is what? A scientist who invented this Python programming language at CWI Labs, right? At CWI Labs in Netherlands. In Netherlands, there is a lab, CWI, Centrum Wiskunde and Informatica Labs. So these are the labs in which Python has been implemented by Guido van Rossum, where it is available in Netherlands. Don't worry, nobody asks you these questions in interview, but it's very important to know the history as well. So as a part of that, we'll be knowing this. You might be wondering, why only Python the name? Why not other names? Because at that particular point of time, there is a BBC show, right? BBC is a British broadcasting company, British broadcasting company's TV show, right? So at that particular point of time in the 1989 year, there is a British TV show which is broadcasting in that year, which is Monty Python's Flying Circus. Flying Circus. So this is what a TV show at that particular point of time. Generally, this Guido van Rossum is very fond of this particular TV show. During implementation, he got a thought. If I am implementing this programming language, its name should be unique. Its name should be slightly mysterious. That means nobody should aware of this particular name. When somebody heard about this name, they should literally panic. Like this thinking, he has taken this particular name. So from this BBC TV show, he has taken this name. So Python. So that's why right now we are having this a programming language with the name Python, right? So in the year 1991, right? In the year 1991, he has released the version of 0.9.0. This is for the first version. In the year 1991, he has released into the market. Most of the people will think Java is the first programming language. No, Java is not a first programming language. Python is the first programming language in the year 1989 itself, before the implementation of Java. Python has been implemented, but the official version has been released in the year 1991 after Java version has been released. Python is the first programming language, then Java. In the year 1994, right? In the year 1994, so he has released another version which is Python 1.0. So in this version, he has implemented some more features. What are those new features? Lambda features, right? Lambda is one of the important function, very, very important function, lambda function. Next is map function, filter function, right? So, and reduce functions. So these are different types of functions. Going ahead, we'll be learning this when we start learning about functions in Python. So you'll understand what is the importance of these functions as well. So in the year 1994, he has released first version with these features, right? So after this, he has released a Python 2.0, so which he again implemented another features like list comprehensions. Very important concept, list comprehensions, very important interview question, very important area where you can expect lot of problems to be solved, right? List comprehensions, garbage collection system, right? Garbage collection system, right? So these are the new features which he has implemented in the second version. On December 3, 2008, right? December 3, 2008, he has implemented Python version 3, Python 3.0. From now onwards, we are having this Python version 3 only. Some 3.1, some 3.2, like this. Right now, we are standing at 3.12.1 or even more than that. So in this particular course, we'll be using the latest version, which we will be installing right away. So in the year 2008, we are having this official version of Python, which is third version. So from there onwards, we are using this Python 3.xx version. Yes, Python is implemented. On what basis it is implemented? So if we talk about these influences, right? Python was influenced by programming languages at that particular point of time. When Python was implemented, at that particular point of time, you are having these languages: C language, C++, shell script, modular 3. Each and every language is having some advantage. What Guido van Rossum has done, he has taken the advantages of each and every programming language and he has implemented that this Python. Right? Generally, Python right now it is extensively used in the DevOps area. Right? Python is right now using in the DevOps area. Extensively it is using because you are doing some scripting. You are not writing some large lines of code. So scripting is required. For doing this scripting, you need this Python. Other than this Linux scripting, like this n number of opportunities, learn the Python here. If you want to pursue in different areas, just go ahead and pursue your career. Python is having that much importance. So this is what the brief introduction with respect to the history of Python programming language. Introduction and history of Python programming language. You learned this. You need to work on this Python programming language right now. You need to write some simple code. First thing, what you need to have Python in your local machine. That means you need to install Python, right? Install Python, nothing but installation of Python, right? Installation of Python. So how you can install Python? It is pretty much very simple. Just go to Google, right? I'm closing this existing instances. So search for Python. So once you search for Python, you can see this is what the official website where you can install this Python programming language. So just click on this. So once you click on this, this is what the home page of this official website. So when you scroll down, you can see these are the information with respect to the latest news. So right now you are having 3.14.0 as an alpha version. Nothing but it is in the testing phase only. Just click on downloads, right? You can see Python source code and installers are available for download for all versions. So in the downloads page, it is already available. Also, what is the latest version, which is the stable version, which is 3.13.0. This is what the stable version. Just to click on downloads. So once you click on downloads, you can see it is just showing you download Python 3.1.3. Just to click on that. So once you click on that, an exe file will be downloaded. An exe file will be downloaded. Once you download that exe file, double click on that. Right? Let me show you how you can achieve that. So I'm just clicking on this download Python. I have already Python installed in my local machine. You can see once I click on this download button, it is already installed. So just double click on that. You can see it is just opening this particular window, right? Once you double click on that exe file, you will see multiple options. One is install now, one is custom installation. When you click install now, inside programs, you'll have some default folder which is created right away, which is Python. So you can see it here. I have already installed this Python in my local machine. Just to go to this C drive. So once you go to this C drive, just go to users, tell, nothing but respect to user name you need to go. So you can just scroll down. You'll be able to see some programs. So let us see program files, program data, right? So let us program files, right? So where it is? So yes, inside app data, which is a hidden folder. So you need to go there, so which is inside users only. Let me click on this. Just click on dev. You can see it here. There will be one of the option which is an app data. Generally, this is what an hidden folder. So by default, when you see this at the very beginning, you will not be able to see this hidden folder, app data. There will be no app data. So what you need to do to see those hidden folders, you need to just click on this hidden items inside this view tab. So once you click on this hidden items, you'll be able to see the app data right away. So just click on this app data. So click on locale. Right. Once you click on locale, you can see multiple directories are available. Just to see a programs directory. So inside programs, you can see one of the folder which is Python has been installed. So it is automatically installed inside this programs, right? Inside this Python, you can see Python 3.12. So this is what the version which I previously installed. Yes, I will be updating as well. So just click on this. Once you click on this, you can see you'll be having library as well as script site packages. Inside the site packages, you are having this lot of packages with respect to the Python, right? Along with Python file also. So by default, once you click on this install now, this will be installed in the default location, which is programs. Inside programs, you are having this Python, which is automatically created and with respect to Python version number, right? So also, instead of this, if you want to install it somewhere in your local machine, just click on customize installation, right? Once you click on next, right, you can see at which location you need to install this Python. Just to click on this browse, you can create some new folder or inside some existing folder. If you want to install this Python programming language, you can just select that particular folder. So you can see it here. I'm just coming back. The reason is I have already installed this in my local. One more important point. Once you see this particular window, first and foremost thing, what you need to do is you need to check this add python.exe to path. Very, very, very important point. Once you see this particular window, not only for this application, for every application, if you see this particular option, add so and so application.exe to path, that means why this option is required. Generally, you are having multiple disks in your local machine, C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, like this. By default, when you install any application, it will be installed inside this C drive. So you'll be able to access that application from the C drive only. Suppose if you want to access that application, if you want to run that application from the D drive, how you can do that? It is not at all possible. When it is possible, when you add this respect to application to environmental variable, once you add that only, you'll be able to run from multiple locations inside your local machine. Once you don't check this particular option, again it is an headache. You need to go to environmental variables. You need to again add that particular path. Instead of that, to avoid all those issues, not only for this application, for every application, at the time of installation, if you see this specific option, just click on that option blindly. Don't think of anything. Just blindly, just click on that particular option, particular checkbox, so that you'll be able to run that particular application from any part of your local machine. Otherwise, what you need to do, you need to search for environmental variables, right? Environmental variables. You can see edit the system environmental variables, or just click on this. You can see system variables, right? Inside this, you are having this path, right? Or otherwise, let me cancel this. Let me search for environmental variables. Environmental variables, right? System environmental variables. You can see, just click on this environmental variables. So you can see path, click on edit. What you need to do, you need to specify the location of that particular Python program where you have installed. So in this case, I have already installed this. So if you can see it here, I have also specified this python.exe, or you can see it here. This is what a version. So see Python latest version scripts. Inside this specific location I have installed. So instead of that particular install now location which it is showing at the very beginning, I am avoiding that because I'll be using this Python for lot of projects, not only for this automation, for lot of projects I'll be using this Python. So I'm just installing it in one specific location, which is Python latest version. Inside this, I'm just installing. So what you need to do, if you install it somewhere, instead of checking that, so let me click on no, because I'm just canceling this. Why? I have already installed this in my local machine. So you need to come here, you need to add that particular path so that you will be able to execute this from any part of your local machine. So to avoid all these headaches, just to simply check that particular checkbox at the time of installation. So this is what with respect to Python installation. So what you need to do, you need to go to official website, right? Official website. So once you go to official website, download python.exe file, right? Simply pretty straightforward for different operating systems. It can be Windows, it can be Linux, it can be Mac. You can follow the same approach. Just to go to official website, just click on that download option. So python.exe file will be downloaded. Just double click on that. Double click on that exe file, right? So these are the things which you can just follow step by step. I have specified each and everything in the material. Don't worry. So double click on that exe file. So check the add path checkbox. Very important point. Add path checkbox. So with this, by tomorrow, I hope you will be ready with installation of Python. Yes. Once you install Python, I am not sure whether it is installed properly or not. Whether it is installed properly or not. So to check whether it is installed properly or not. So what you can do, just to open, check installation of Python, right? Installation of Python. So how you can check? Open command prompt. Simple way is open command prompt, right? So type Python. Right away, it will show you with version along with prompt. So let us see. I'm just opening this command prompt. Because I previously installed this Python right away. So once you install this Python, you need to check whether it is properly installed or not. So to check this, so you can just open this command prompt, right? Just click on open. So you can see it here. Once you open, you'll be able to see this particular location. Inside C users in the del you are having. So your cursor is blinking here. Just to give the command as Python, right? Type Python. So once you click on enter, you can see what is the version which I have already installed in my local machine, 3.12.4. Right now, in your case, it is 3.13. Right? It is 3.13. So in the June 2006 only, this version has been released. But in your case, it will be, what is the today's date? It is November 20. So by this today's date, you'll be having that Python 3.13 once you install. So along with the Python name and the version, it will just prompt you, right? If you see these three arrows, it is nothing but a prompt. What this prompt is telling to you, this prompt is asking you to give some input, right? To give some input, this prompt is asking you. So just to search for, or just give some simple statement, print of, this is first programming language, right? Then Java. Some simple statement for your information, I'm just printing language, then Java. Some simple message I'm just printing, guys. So once I click on enter, you can see it is printed in the console. That means it is properly installed. So it is executing this simple code perfectly. Now let us do one more simple print statement. So 10 plus 4 or 1 plus 4, anything is fine. Just click on enter. You can see what is the result, 5 has been successfully printed in the console. That means this is what the very good way to check the installation of Python, whether it is properly installed or not. Yes, there can be lot of ways. Don't want those lot of ways. Don't learn lot of things. Just only learn one good thing. That's it. Pretty straightforward this is. Just open command prompt, type Python. It will show you the version. Along with the version, it will prompt. That means it will ask you some input. So just give some simple statement. So just execute that. So if it is giving you the correct result, then you can say it is properly installed. So this is how you can check installation of Python. Also, once you install Python, there are a lot of ways to run the code, right? What you need to do at the end of the with any programming language, you need to execute some code. In how many ways you can execute Python code? Ways to run Python code. There are three ways how you can execute this Python code. First thing, by using this IDLE, integrated development and learning environment. Integrated development and learning environment, not IDE. Try to understand this. It's not IDE, IDLE. Right? Let me write it here. Integrated development and learning environment. Right? So it is only meant for learning purposes. Learning environment. Integrated development and learning environment. If you are a child, like if you are studying some 10th class, 9th class, only for those people it is very useful because they don't know anything about this Python programming language. So this is what the first way how you can run your Python code as like the command prompt. By default, once you install this Python, this IDLE will be installed automatically. So how you can access this IDLE? Just click on this search for IDLE. Once you search for IDLE, you can see this is what the app. Just click on that. So once you click on that, as like in the prompt, right? As like in the command prompt, you will be able to see the Python version along with the prompt. Just issue some simple statement, right? Print of hello Prasanna, right? Some simple statement. I'm just printing it here. Just click on enter. You can see it is able to print that simple message. Next, print of 10 divided by 5. Click on enter. You can see it's 2.0. Yes, there are a lot of operators. Accordingly, it will just give you the result with the decimal, without decimal also. We'll see going ahead. This is one way. With the help of IDLE, integrated development learning environment, you can execute this Python code. Good. Very simple code only you will be able to execute. What is the another way? you can run this Python code with the help of command prompt. Just now we have seen, we have opened this command prompt, typed Python. So it is prompting you to enter some code, right? So that is what we have seen. This is what the second way. So what is the another way? You can run the code with Notepad or Notepad plus plus, right? Notepad plus plus. This is what the third way. So by these different ways, you can run this Python code. Let us see how you can run with Notepad or Notepad plus plus. So if you can see somewhere inside this, I have just created some folder, right? You can see it here. So test, I'm just opening this, edit with Notepad plus plus. You can see inside this test.py, I'm having some simple code here. So let me delete this for your information. I'm just trying to delete this, creating one more test file. Right click, click on new, click on text document, test I am specifying. So this is what only text document, guys. So inside this text document, I am specifying some simple Python code. This is my first Python program. Print of 10 plus 20, 10 divided by 20. What I will do, I'll just save this in some different format. So click on file, save as. So just click on this all files, test.py, right? Test.py with .py extension I am saving. So click on close. You can see another file with test.py. It's a Python file is created. You can just delete this, right? Now, whatever the code which you have saved in Notepad or Notepad plus plus, some simple way. I'm taking this Notepad only. In the same way, you can also save the code with the help of Notepad plus plus, right? So I'm just opening this command prompt, right? Command prompt. So right now where I am inside C users del, inside the same location only where this file is present, right? You can see it here inside C disk users del. I am having this module. So just to specify py test.py, just click on enter. You can see py, nothing but this particular module is a Python file. So you need to execute this particular module. So once you execute this, what are the three different types of statements I specified there? Print of, this is my first Python program. Yes, it is printed. 10 plus 20, it is printed 30. 10 divided by 5 or 5 divided by 10, it is some result, right? So that has been printed in the console. This is one way. So instead of py, you can specify Python test.py, right? This is what another way. Instead of py, you can also specify Python. But previously, where you have specified the code inside a notepad and saved that to another file which is with .py extension, right? Also, instead of opening this separately command prompt, you can just click on close it. Directly, you can just open it from here. CMD, just type CMD. So you can directly open it from here, right? Again, you py test.py, just click on enter. You can see the same result has been printed in the console as like in the previous cases. So just click on close this. So these are the three different ways how you can run Python code. Guys, with the help of these three ways, you will not be able to write a very complex code. Generally, when you see any application, how it is implemented with the help of some thousands or 10,000 or some lakhs of lines of code. In that case, ideally is not useful. Command prompt is also not useful. Notepad or Notepad plus plus also is not useful. Only for simple codes, they are useful. Generally, to write a large lines of code when working on real-time projects, will not prefer any of these ways. Try to understand this. If you are working on very large projects, real-time projects, suppose if you want to write an automations code, right? Simply you will not prefer these ways. So what you need to do, you need to write the code in IDE, integrated development environment, integrated development environment. So with the help of these IDEs, you'll be able to write the code in real-time projects. That what will be downloading and installing. When you talk about Java, Eclipse or IntelliJ is what a popular IDE. Visual Studio Code is another IDE. But coming to Python, PyCharm is a popular IDE. PyCharm. PyCharm is extensively used for writing any code with respect to development or with respect to automation testing. But with respect to this data related stuff, big data, data analysis, you will use this Jupyter notebooks, right? You will use this Jupyter notebooks or Google Colab. Like this, you are having different platforms. If you want to write some good code where it is used purely for development of web applications, or if you want to write an automation script, you will use this PyCharm IDE, which is a popular IDE to work with Python. Now, once you install this Python, you need to install this PyCharm also, right? So installation of PyCharm. So I already have this PyCharm installed in my local machine, but for your information, let me show you how you can install this. Go to official website. If you want to install any application, first thing you need to do is you need to go to official website, right? Official website. Download community version. Guys, most of you people will make mistake here. At the very beginning, when you open this official website, they will show you this professional version. Once you scroll down, you will be able to see this community edition, right? So let us see that. So I'm just searching for PyCharm download, right? Just click on enter. So once you click on enter, you can see this is what the official link to download this PyCharm. So once you click on this, everybody will make mistake here only. By default, it will be showing this PyCharm professional version. Don't download this professional version. After the trial period ends, you need to pay some amount. It is not free. Just scroll down. Once you scroll down, you can see there is a PyCharm community edition. This is only for Python development, which is more than sufficient for us. It is more than sufficient to work with an automation code. So what you need to do, you need to download this. Just to download this PyCharm community edition, just click on download. That's it. Like in the previous case of Python, an exe file will be downloaded. So if you can see step by step, I have specified inside this document, which I will be giving you to you in the Google Drive. So just go to official website of JetBrains. So PyCharm is what a JetBrains product, right? So just click on that download. So after clicking on the download, an exe file will be downloaded. Once you double click on the exe file, you can see at the very beginning, you will be able to see this particular window. Just click on next. So once you click on next, just click on next. So up to this specific option, as like in the case of Python, you need to add to path. If you see this particular option, not only for Python, not only for PyCharm, for any application from now onwards, if you are installing, if there is a specific option like this, just try to click right away. Right? Just click on next. So once you click on next, once you click on next, you can see it is executed and it is installed in your local machine. So at last, you will be able to see this particular window. Step by step, I have specified here. I'll be sharing it with you in the Google Drive. Just try to refer this. If you want to reboot, once it is installed, just reboot now. You can check this particular radio button, or it is a radio button, not a checkbox. Don't confuse. We'll see how you can handle this radio button and checkboxes as well going ahead, right? So I want to manually reboot later. If you want to reboot later, just check this. Just click on finish. So once you click on finish, it will open this PyCharm window like this, right? Let me open this. So I'm just opening. At the very beginning, once you install, this is what the same window you'll be able to see, right? The same window you'll be able to see once you open this PyCharm. If you want to get the project from the version control system, right? You can use this particular option. So in this course, we'll be using this Git or GitHub. So GitHub is what a remote repository, right? So if any project is hosted inside that remote repository, you can get that from this version control system. If there is any existing project, you can just click on this open so that you can open any existing project. Right now, we'll freshly create a project. So to create a new project, just click on this new project. So you need to specify some name, right? So Selenium, right? Python, Selenium. Just click on create. So by default, this Python version is automatically selected. So just click on create. So once you click on create, you can see it is just creating this virtual environment. So when it is creating this virtual environment, that means the project is created in the background. You can see this is what the project is. So Python Selenium. You can see indexes are being uploaded. Right now, don't worry with all these options. Going ahead one by one, we will see what these options are. But for now, once you create a project, right click on the project, mouse over onto new. You can see multiple options: file, scratch file, directory, Python package, Python file. Like this, you will be having a lot of options. First, I am creating a directory. Click on directory. To create a directory, you need to specify name of the directory. In this case, I am specifying day one, right? Previously, we have taken the demo session. So from today onwards, we will be starting this Python programming language. This is a day one, right? So just click on enter. So once you click on enter, you can see day one, which is a directory. It is created inside this root directory of this project. Right click on this directory. Again, mouse over onto new. Just click on Python file, right? So just give some specific name, hello world, some simple code we are executing today, right? I don't want to make you very complex today only. So I'm just creating some simple module.py file is called as a module. Inside this, I'm executing some simple statement, right? What is that? Print of, to print anything, you need this print statement. This is my first Python program, right? First Python program. Some simple code we are executing. Along with this, we'll also print some 10 plus 20, right? Some simple code you are writing inside this module. Now, how you can execute this particular code? Yes, you written this code very well. Good, very good. How you can execute this code, right? So to execute this code, there are three ways, right? So let us show you those three ways. One is click on this run button. So at the top right corner, you can see a green button, right? Green arrow button. So which is used to run this particular module, hello world.py. Yes, I'm just clicking on that. You can see it is executed. This is my first Python program, and 10 plus 20 is 30 has been printed in the console. This is one way. What is the another way? Right click on anywhere on the module. You can see multiple options. So one of the option is run hello world. Click on that. Again, it is executing the same statements and it is printing the result inside this console. Also, what is the another way? One good support from PyCharm is, as like in the command prompt, you can execute some statements directly from the PyCharm itself. That support is with respect to terminal. You can see that this is what a terminal, as like the command prompt. Just as like in the previous case, issue this command py hello world.py. Where what is that module name? In the previous case, it is test. Right now, it is hello world, right? Hello world.py. But where this module is present, inside this Python Selenium, you are having day one folder. Inside day one, you are having this module. So if you execute this, you will get an error. So what you need to do, you need to specify the correct location, right? Inside day one, you are having this hello world.py. You need to specify the correct location, right? If I want to send you some post, I need some correct location, right? That's what I'm just specifying it here. So py inside day one of this particular root folder, I'm having this module. Just to specify that module name, just click on enter. So once you click on enter, again you can see the same result has been printed inside console. This is my first Python program, and 10 plus 20 it is 30. So in this way, you can write a code inside an IDE, you can develop a code, and you can execute the code, and you can see the results right away. Today, just try to install this Python and PyCharm. When coming to tomorrow's class, be ready with these installations.